For those of us living in Florida, knowing how to manage your yard can be overwhelming. Well, we're here to help. Tom Wickman from the University of Florida's Florida Friendly Landscaping Program shares his DIY tips for helping you manage your Florida yard.
Weeds are everywhere, and unfortunately, they're the bane of everyone's existence. But really, a weed is just any plant that's out of place. Now, let's think about preventing them in the first place. If you're creating a new landscape bed, maybe we can use a fabric ground cloth that can keep them from growing in the very first place. A nice 2 to 3 inch layer of Florida-friendly organic mulch. You put that in, the chunkier the better. That'll help keep the weeds down and keep those seeds from germinating. Now, if the weeds are already there, what do? You can get on your hands and knees and do a little weeding. Don't wait for them to get up to your knees. Just because it's easier, get them while they're small, before they can reseed. We've got lots of different tools to help you get those weeds out. And if it just gets to be too much, there are herbicide products that can help as well. We have pre-emergent herbicide products which will prevent the weed seeds from germinating, but you have to have all the weeds out of that bed first. You also have post-emergent herbicide products that we use once those weeds are there already, so it's going to kill those existing weeds. And make sure you follow the label instructions. On any product, it's so important. The label is the law. Managing weeds, that doesn't have to be so difficult, but keeping those weeds under control will keep the landscape looking better and keep your plants healthy. Sooner or later, every gardener runs into a pest problem. The key is knowing what to do about it. It's really important that you examine your landscape, or what we call scouting your landscape. You walk around, look at your plants, turn leaves over, see if you can figure out, are there holes, and if there are, what's making those holes, or what may be causing leaves to yellow. It's a good idea to have a hand lens, because that'll help you see if there are small insects that might be there, and that'll help you identify those problems. Once you've identified what the problem is, it's really important that you practice IPM, or integrated pest management. With integrated pest management, we can use pesticides, and in many cases, no treatment might be needed at all. But if we do have to use a chemical, we'll go ahead and use the least toxic products first. And that's where we'll use soaps and oils, these biorational type products that are a little more friendly to you and the environment. Now, if you have to apply a pesticide, we want to make sure that you're doing it safely. There are ready-to-use products available that make application really simple, and it avoids that mixing process. Now, you want to make sure you're reading the label of whatever product that you might be applying, whether it's a ready-to-use or a concentrate. The label is the law when we talk about pesticides. So it's really important you read these labels, and they can be somewhat long, but there's a lot of valuable information. It'll tell you how much to mix, and it'll tell you any safety equipment that you need to be wearing to be able to apply that pesticide safely. Pesticides can be a necessary tool in the landscape, but we just want to make sure we're using them safely to help protect us and our environment. As Floridians, one of the best things we can do to protect the environment is to save water. And you can do that by helping to maintain your irrigation system. One of the things you have to do is to check your irrigation system seasonally. So make sure you're going out. Turn it on during the day so you can see it run. Make sure if there are any broken heads, you're repairing those. Make sure if there's heads that are watering the street or sidewalks, that you're adjusting those and checking those. That's probably some of the most important things you can do. University of Florida has recommended that when we water, we should apply 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of water at each irrigation. Next thing you want to do is calibrate your irrigation system. You do that by putting out small containers scattered out through that zone. Run your system, and then you can find out how much water you're putting out, and you'll calibrate that so you know how long you need to run your system to put out that 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of water. And make sure you're checking your controller often. Changing it out with the seasons, realize that you need less water at other seasons. Maybe you want to think about running your system manually as opposed to on a set and forget schedule. So that way you can look at your landscape. It'll tell you when you need to water. And think about changing out some of those old inefficient heads to some of the new MSMT heads. You can save up to 30% of the amount of water by utilizing these new heads. Consider changing out some of your landscape beds from spray heads to micro irrigation. Micro irrigation will put the water right where it's needed at the root system. Managing your irrigation system is one of the easiest ways to help protect one of Florida's most valuable resources, our water. Attracting wildlife is one of my favorite Florida-friendly landscaping principles, but bird baths, bird feeders, even hummingbird feeders take maintenance. So it's important that you know how to take care of them. Provide a source of water, whether that's a bird bath or maybe even a water garden perhaps, and you want to make sure that that's clean. So if you have a bird bath, make sure you scrub it out. We want to scrub that out and change that water every few days. So you don't need any bleach, you don't need any special cleaners, just a scrub brush and a little elbow grease. If you have a bird feeder, we want to keep those cleaned out too, at least every few weeks. Maybe during the summer, you might have to do it a little more often where we'll change out that seed. In between changing out the seed, scrub it out. You can use a 10% bleach solution if it's plastic or glass. If it's a wood product, use just hot soapy water. If you're filling that bird feeder, make sure that you're using fresh seed. Now, if you have that hummingbird feeder, make sure you're changing out that nectar every 2 to 3 days. If it's hot in summertime, maybe even a little bit more often, and you don't need the red dye. Just have some sort of red on that hummingbird feeder. Doing these simple practices will keep wildlife coming to your landscape for years to come. Anyone maintaining a landscape knows that they have to deal with debris that's generated, whether it be grass clippings, leaves, small limbs. What do we do with all this stuff? Number one, if you're mowing the lawn, let the clippings lay on the lawn. They don't contribute to thatch, and they do add nutrients back to the soil. When you cut off small limbs, you can just tuck those behind larger plants. They'll break down and add organic matter back to the soil. Now, when you're designing the landscape, before you even buy plants, consider buying dwarf plants, ones that will take less pruning. You're not going to have to prune as often or as much. And make sure you're spacing them at the right spacing and far enough away from the house, again, so you don't have to prune more often. Another thing you can do is create large self-mulching areas underneath trees. So if you have a lot of trees, just make a large bed and allow those leaves to fall naturally. Now, if you have a lot of leaves that you've collected, they make great mulch in other beds. One of my favorite ways to recycle yard waste right on your property is to utilize a compost bin. Locate your compost bin in a sunny location where there's a water source somewhere nearby so that you can keep the moisture level up. Now, we want to add layers of greens and browns. So the greens are going to be that leafy material. The browns are going to be things like small twigs and leaves. You put those in layers as you're filling up your compost bin. And make sure that you're maintaining them properly. They'll take a little bit of turning that compost, and you'll have to keep the moisture up, but it turns into black gold that you can utilize in your landscape. By following these few tips, you'll find out that a lot of the nutrients that your landscape needs are already there. It just needs to be recycled properly.
Thanks, Tom. For more information on the Florida Friendly Landscaping Program, visit floridafriendlylandscaping.com.